What's going on, team? It's Xander with Facer Trading Academy. Welcome back to another video. This week, just wanted to hop on and kind of present you guys with some opportunities that are coming up. And with the market selling off last week and us seeing a slight recovery this week in the market on Monday, we're starting to see a lot of opportunities begin to play out. So I just wanted to hop on, present you with those, show you guys what I'm watching. And if that's something that you guys are interested in, drop a like, drop some comments as to what you guys are watching, and let's hop right into it. So like I said, last week we've been seeing a sell-off in the market. And this week on Monday, we finally saw a break above the EMA and we saw a break above the SMA as well. We did see a potential bounce around this level, which used to be our support, which has been our support for the last few months, actually. So now that we saw that bounce, we can potentially expect a recovery to newer highs. So that being said, let's hop into the opportunities that are presenting themselves. So the first one is going to be NNOX. So this one's been selling off. We are gonna have earnings tomorrow, an earnings call. So based on that, we might see, the price either break out or continue lower. But this one's definitely one to keep on watch. From current price to being conservative, let's go to 83. That's about an 82% profit potential, right? So that's one to pay attention to. If we check for a support level, we are seeing that it has approached this previous support level where we had that support right here, not only on this level, but also on the SMA. And that's pretty much what we came down to, not once, but twice. We came down here, we bounced, came back up, and now we're coming back down again. So depending on how earnings go, the earnings call, pre-market tomorrow, we'll see kind of where this goes. But if we do end up breaking through the EMA, we should be expecting, newer highs. So that's one to be paying attention to. We are, towards the bottom, but almost around 30 on the RSI. So this is looking fairly promising. Another one that we're going to be taking a look at is MPAA. This one's also seen a nice run up. We saw a nice sell off during earnings. After earnings came out, we saw a nice sell off. We found support on the SMA, and we are starting to form a consolidation here. So, potentially if we hold this EMA line, we can see an upside to this with about a 24% profit potential. MACD is looking good. RSI is looking good. So this one is also one I would be paying attention to. The next one is going to be Race, which is Ferrari. This one's also been selling off since 234. And just today, we ended up breaking the EMA line. RSI is looking good. MACD is looking good. So from current prices to previous highs, we're looking at about 14%, 14.9% profit potential. This one's been fairly consistent as far as the uptrend goes. So we did see, the sell-off happen, and I am seeing great opportunity here for you guys. The next one I'd be taking a look at is Nvda. That one also had a sell-off. When earnings came out, we did end up bouncing here, and now we're breaking the EMA and the SMA at the same time. And from current prices to previous highs, we're looking at about 9.6% profit potential. RSI is looking good on this one. Same thing with the MACD. We are breaking out to the upside. And we've also seen consistent uptrend on Nvda. The next one we're going to take a look at is going to be Walmart. This one we've been watching for some time now. We are still selling off. However, we did end up finding support on another previous support level, which is around this price, which is exactly where we bounced. We are approaching the EMA here. So if we break the EMA level here, the next resistance that I would be expecting would be the previous support level that we saw, which is now the resistance, which is about a 5% profit potential up till there. And then from there to previous highs, we're looking at about a 17.7% profit potential. The next one would be HD, Home Depot. This one also had a nice sell-off after earnings. We saw a nice dip. RSI bottomed out. MACD, we saw a reversal on the MACD. And now today we just broke the EMA. So from current prices to not even previous highs, but pretty much where the price was at before earnings came out, we're looking at about 8.1%. Previous highs, I would probably be going up to 10%. Also a good opportunity, nice, stable, consistent stock. The next one would be BABA, also one we've been watching for some time now. We did see a nice push back up. We actually watched it and caught this move up to the upside on this bounce here when we had a nice sell-off here. We came back up to previous resistance support level, broke it a little bit, but now we ended up dipping back to this support level down at 240, and it looks like we're finding support here. We had a nice bounce off this level, came back up, got rejected by the EMA line, came back down to the support level. Now we're consolidating. So if we break above this, break above the EMA to not even previous highs, but where the price was at just maybe, I want to say like a week and a half ago, we're looking at about 13%. If we're looking at previous highs, we're looking at about 30%. Also a nice, strong company. I'd be paying attention to this stock as well. The next one I'm going to be taking a look at is Amazon. So this one sold off as the market sold off, and as the market begins to recover, so will this one. We did break EMA, and RSI is obviously looking nice and healthy. Same thing with the MACD. We still have to break the SMA line, but once we do, to the SMA line, we're looking at about 2.6%. If we're looking to the next level, that's the next level that it was at right before we had the earnings call and it sold off. That's about 9%. And if we're looking to historic high or previous highs, we're looking at about 11%. Nice, strong, consistent company as well. Also one to be paying attention to. The next one would be USB. This one had a nice dip down here. We had a nice run up after this pullback here. We had a nice run up, broke SMA, ended up running up to 53, and then we had a pullback. Today, we just broke the EMA line. And if we're taking a look at the MACD, we're starting to potentially see a reversal on the MACD. RSI, we have plenty of room to run. So this is one that I'd be also paying attention to. And also a nice, consistent uptrend pattern. And this is US Bancorp. The next one is going to be Chgg. Had a nice pullback here. Just barely broke the SMA line. However, we did end up bouncing at this previous support level where we bounced here. We did end up breaking the EMA and the SMA today. So from here to previous highs, we're looking at about 14.3%. We have plenty of room to run on the RSI, and the MACD just ended up reversing. So this is another one to pay attention to. Also with school starting back up, and people starting to use Chgg more, obviously we're going to see, the share price rising as well along with that. The next one is going to be Wing, WING. Had a massive pullback here, right around earnings. Earnings came out, pullback happened. Now we just broke EMA maybe 2 days ago, and we did end up getting confirmation we are approaching the SMA. So ideally, we would want to see it break SMA. And then if we're measuring from the SMA line to previous highs, we're looking at about 22.4% profit potential. Plenty of room to run on the RSI along with the MACD as well. So this is another one to be paying attention to. SCI. This one also had a nice pullback from 54.87, pulled all the way back down. RSI, we bottomed out. We ended up finding support, consolidating, and now we just broke the EMA line. We're still waiting to break the SMA line. However, if we're holding above the EMA line, if we're looking at previous patterns, we can see that, it's consistently uptrending over time. So I would expect this one, if we're looking at, a return back up to previous highs, we're looking at about 11.45%. And this is Service Corp. The next one would be Z, which is Zillow, also one that we've been watching for some time. We ended up actually talking about this one, I believe, last week when we were still selling off. We did end up breaking towards the end of the week. We broke the EMA line on Friday, and today we ended up finding confirmation, I would say, on that EMA line. So from here, current prices to previous highs, we're looking about 22.3%. A nice play looking on the RSI, and the MACD is also looking fairly good. So I would say this is another one to be paying attention to. The next one I would be looking at is SQ, which is Square. Had a nice pullback today. We ended up breaking the EMA as along with the SMA. We saw strong price action moving up to the upside in after hours. So this is one I'd be paying attention to. If you didn't catch this one earlier today, from current prices to previous highs, we're looking at about 11.7% on this one. Plenty of room on the RSI. MACD is also looking good. The next one is FSLY. This is also one we talked about last week. We did see a nice selling pattern happening last week, and then we ended up seeing a double bottom here. So we did break EMA today, and so from current prices to previous highs, not even previous highs, but the recent highs, we're looking at about 53%. If we're looking at historic highs, we're looking at about close to 70%, but being a little bit more conservative on the conservative side, we'll measure it towards the recent highs, which was 119. So we'll go with the 54%. However, we do still have to break the SMA line. So this is a level I'd be watching, probably that 97.44 resistance level. But overall, this is one I'd be paying attention to as well. Just have a couple more, which is the next one would be Doku, which is DocuSign. This one today, we saw a nice push right above the EMA, and then after hours, nice push up to the SMA line. So from the SMA line to recent highs, we're looking at about 8.99%. We also have earnings coming up. Our size looking fairly good. We still have plenty of room to run before we hit 70 and above. MACD is also looking fairly good. So, obviously we're in this ascending channel, and we ended up seeing this bounce a little bit lower than we expected. But, if we're following the EMA strategy of entering on the break of the EMA, then that shouldn't have really mattered. We just wait for that break of EMA, which happened not even on Monday. Well, basically on Monday. So if you were paying attention to this one Monday morning, you would have probably caught this move, which was about a 5.8%, 5.9% move that happened today. The next one is Apple, AAPL. Similar to Amazon, pulled back with the market. As the market is recovering, we're also seeing a recovery here on Apple. Today broke above the EMA. We're still making new highs. So if we were paying attention to this one, that's about a 3.2% move just on Monday. We still have to break the SMA, but we obviously broke this resistance level today. So, if the market continues to push up, we should continue to see a rise in the price per share here on Apple. I'd be watching the SMA level next. And if we're looking and measuring to previous highs, we're looking at about a 16.37% profit potential. This one I'd be paying attention to. However, the RSI is starting to approach the 70 level, so might have a little bit of a correction at some point. So maybe that would be potentially a great entry point. So this one's, stay patient with this one. Obviously, if we're continuing to see, strong price action and strong upside, obviously hop into it. However, if we do see a pullback, that would be, expected. So I wouldn't stress about it too much. And I'd also be watching the overall market as well. Similar to, Amazon and Apple, Tesla, same thing. We had a pullback with the market. We did break the EMA today. And from current prices to previous highs, we're looking at about 23%. If we're looking at a little bit lower than 900, around 880, we're looking at about 21%. Still great opportunity. This one's obviously, a lot of eyes on this one. And the last but not least, looking at Gopro, which is GPRO. This one's one that I am liking quite a bit. We saw a nice pullback here right after earnings came out. And today we just broke above the EMA. We still have to break the SMA. However, RSI is looking like we are starting to approach the, overextended area. So we might see a little bit of a consolidation or a bit of a pullback. However, from current prices to previous highs, we're looking at about 49, 50%. So this one's I'd definitely be paying attention to. Also one with a strong, consistent uptrend pattern over time throughout, pretty much since September. So this pullback opportunity, I would say, is a great one to be paying attention to and potentially using this opportunity to enter on this one. So hope this helps, guys. If you got this far, smash that like button, comment where you guys are watching, and comment, your thoughts on some of the stocks that we went over today. Hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great one, guys.